What's going on, y'all? Can't even say top of the top. Missed the morning walk this morning. Was doing some community service for a health fair over in Tamarack. Shout out to Rod Nail. He been on the podcast before. It's my guy, my barber, my good man. His mom has a health practice, Center of Hope. And today they did a health fair. This was the anniversary, so second anniversary. Did a health fair, did a food drive. Met a lot of good people today. A lot of people in that health fitness world, working out, stretching, juicing, the whole 9 yards. So like I said, y'all, these are raw thoughts. So as I just left that event, man, it was great. It was inspiring. I made some contacts for my health. I made some contacts for some future podcast guests as well. But, the biggest thing that is always on my mind, but today with this event, man, I want to talk about community. Anyone that knows me knows, like, that's my bread and butter. That's my heart. That's my passion. That's my purpose. That's something that's just naturally in me, and I know it comes from the family that I come from. And that's also what's on my mind. I was going to say, community and family is kind of the same thing, because your community could be your family could be your community. But today was really good, just seeing Rod Nail, his mom, their family, their practice, the little cousins, the brothers, the sisters, everybody playing their role and giving back to the community of Broward. I was inspired to see, the passion. I was inspired to see the success, the support from elected officials, the support from all the different type of people in the community, right? And the reason why I want to talk about community is because, it's no secret in this country, African Americans, us black people, we go through a lot. We go through a lot, right? And one thing I've been able to observe since being down here is the cultural differences between African Americans. Then you got Caribbean black people, then you got Africans, then you got Latin, then you got white, right? The makeup down here is just totally different from growing up in the DMV. When I lived in Baltimore, when I lived in Vegas, any place I lived, I never seen anything like this, right? But it's also just been a good thing. So, Rod Nail, his family, they all come from Haiti. It was different cultures out there today. People from Haiti, Haitian culture, Jamaican, Dominican, whatever. But I'm bringing this up to say is that community is defined and community is performed different in different cultures all around the world. Since being here, I've been able to have friends and make friends and participate with people that come from these different cultures and compare it to the culture that I'm from, which is African American, and see some of the differences. And I think the difference, and I went to an event, shout out to Dr. Tasha, shout out to Chris Presta, they had an event. He talked about this and I participated and I was glad because I learned a lot. But I see the difference in between, sometimes when it comes to community on the level of like us being African Americans compared to Caribbeans and Latins, right? And the biggest difference that I noticed is just the family aspect of how the family aspect is in the center of all that, right? The center of all that means starting a family business. Okay, we're going to start this together. I met a lot of different people down here who are Haitian, Jamaican. Everyone live in the same house together, get their money up together, invest in businesses together, invest in properties together, all these type of things, right? Now, this is not me saying like, oh, African Americans need to do better. Yeah, we do need to do better, but it's not just like we don't want to do better. If you look at the history of this country, if you go back in time and time, one thing that the oppressor always did was that they tried to break down the black family. You talk about during the slave days, you talk about doing mass incarceration, just so forth and so on. And we still suffer from all this stuff that happened years and years ago. So from us, it's like everybody doesn't have the family makeup that other cultures has. And that family makeup, I think, is what helps you move as your own community within your family to get better, to make money, to do things, and then give back to the greater community. Now for us, right? Think about it. We could say, how do we get there? Well, it's hard for us to get there when you look at the stats and you look at the average home and, you got guys and young girls growing up. Their dad is incarcerated. Their dad has been killed. Their dad might be still struggling from the crack era, whatever the case is, right? Now, I'm bringing that up also just to say is that these are the things we got to be honest about and acknowledge and say, okay, how do we navigate around this? Like today was just like, I was just sitting back like, damn, like this is a family ran business. Everybody playing their part. And then at the same time, everybody got their own motion. Like, you know what I mean? Like Ronell, he got his own thing going with the barbering and his nonprofit, and, you know, his other family members, they got their own thing going as well, but they all come together to do that one thing. And I know, you know, even for my family and people, like I know families that do that as well in African American culture, but it's just not as big. And it just started with the mindset. Like I give you an example, you know, growing up, man, it was like we was just taught this independent thing, right? I don't need nobody. Go out, get it on your own. Go get your own place. Go do this, right? Which is preaching independence, which is cool. But in the midst of that, you still got to have that mindset of how can I get my family? How can I get everybody together on one accord, right? So people always ask me like, yeah, you know, how do you meet people in the community? How you this, how do you that? I'm going to be honest. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, it's so much energy out here that you can go feel, that you can go exchange, right? I'm a people person, man. Even when I ain't trying to talk to people, I ain't trying to meet the people. God sent them to me. God sent them down to me. You know, I talk to them, I vibe with them, I do all these different type of things. But in the midst of it, it's important because you can't get nowhere without that community and that family aspect. Some people may not have no family, but it's okay. You have your community, which becomes your family, right? So it's like, for me, I want to talk about right now, wherever you at, whatever you doing, ask yourself today, what can I do more to shape and improve my community, my family? How can I merge my community and my family? How can I start and define what it means to be community in my family? And I say this because this is like something that I've talked about on the previous ones, is that it ain't just about us, bro. It's bigger than us. It's way bigger than us. So somebody asked me the other day, what you want to get out of this thing called life? And I said, I want to be able to leave something behind for my children and my family other than money. I'm going to leave them the bag too. Don't get that twisted. I'm going to leave them the bag, but I want to be able to pass down a business. I want to be able to pass down morals and perspectives and insights, you know, that they can't find in a book, or that they can't, you know, shake because it's just embedded in them based on the type of family culture and community culture that they raised up in, you know what I mean? And that's like really what it's going to take for us to really get it right. I done been DC, Pompano, Delaware, all these different cities I've been in, man. African Americans are suffering. We all going through gun violence. We all going through homelessness. We all, like, it's the same issues. And you know, I went to a gun violence forum the other night at Pompano, and I was a little pissed off because I'm sitting there in the forum and I'm like, God, like, this is the same thing when I was going to these town halls in DC in 2016, 2017. You got the elected officials, everybody up there telling you what they need to do, what we gonna do, what we gonna do. And it's just talking about solving crime, but what are we doing to prevent it? What we gonna do to prevent teen pregnancy? What we gonna do to prevent crime? What we gonna do to prevent suicide? And I know, and I'm not knocking this, and let me clear this up, because there are some strides that's being taken in all places, right? But year after year, election after election, we talking about the same stuff. And I know for me, like, man, I want my people to win. You know, I do my thing. I'm a only child. I like to be in my own world. You know, I don't really sometimes need so many people to help make what I got going on. But, man, if I can't look and see like my other people winning or see them doing better than me, and I got people in my life that are doing that, but I'm talking about the numbers and the greater cause of what it means, like, to see the race move forward, man. It bothers me and it messes me up. But it's going to take all of us to start where we at within our communities and our families to try to take those strides to really look at it and say, okay, this is something I can practice doing today. This is something I can pass down today, you know? And that's where I'm at with it. That's why I've been at with it. Like I said, if you know me, you know this is my heart. I got to go to Blanche Ely High School yesterday, meet with the principal, good brother, man. Shout out to Principal Tavares Williams. And we working on getting some career and leadership development inside the high schools. So, you know, this whole Any Means thing right here with the podcast, we about to increase that and take it into the schools and take it into the communities and try to really, you know, build up our young black brothers and our young black sisters, because we gotta win, y'all. We gotta win. We can't just keep winning on the popcorn microwave wins, you know? Nothing against the entertainment industry, because that's the way to be successful and a good platform for you to change the trajectory of your family and your community. But we just got to wins in other ways that's going to really, really change the world. You know, the sciences, the STEM, all these type of things, man. I work in HR and I'm helping this business. And, you know, it's like pulling hair, almost trying to find, some African-American talent for this one program. And it could be, you know, it's things that we could do better. It's money that we could fund more, you know, like all companies. But the thing really is that there isn't a desire, or I wouldn't even say desire, but, you know, STEM within the Black community is growing, but it's still not a big deal. We still trying to catch up, you know, because everybody else in other cultures, Asian culture, African culture, you name it, they were getting this pushed on them earlier, but they also had the probably more proper resources and stuff at a young age. Or like I said, go back to that family piece. Probably had dad and mom who was working in corporate America or had the resources to pay for all this different type of stuff. So, you know, we at 11 minutes. I ain't gonna wrap y'all up. I'm enjoying this nice afternoon walk. It's beautiful out here, but I just want us to look at our family and community today. Look at that and say, how can I make that better? How can I shape that? How can I fix that? How can I heal that? You know? So, yeah, man, and it's Black History Month too, so maybe that's why I'm a little riled up a little more. But nah, I just really left that event and I really was inspired, and I'm really just more and more inspired. And I was talking to my homegirl Kiana last night, and it's like, man, in the last 3-4 weeks, everything I prayed for, it's just been coming left and right, man. I mean, God been sending it left and right. Everything I prayed for, you know? So, yeah, man, y'all enjoy y'all Saturday. Super Bowl Sunday tomorrow. Enjoy that. Go be with some family and community, fellowship, watch football. I'm going to go ahead and say fly, Eagles, fly. I ain't no Eagles fan. All my boys are pretty much Eagles fans. And I got to root for the East Coast team. And, you know, I love Philly, man. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to everybody up there. So, hustle plus faith and Eagle success. Man, go pull somebody up today, tomorrow, so we can continue to win and so we can get in position to sustain this and put this in a chokehold, y'all. By any means, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Thank you for tuning into Dreams by Any Means Motivation Station, where hustle plus faith equals success. Stay tuned for the next episode.